9, a lot of people walk into work and not so happy about it. If you're one of those people thinking about maybe going out on your own, we have got David Trahair here. He's a chartered accountant and financial writer, out with his latest, The Entrepreneurial Itch. Do not scratch until you read this book. You talk about everything. Avoid the traps, the pitfalls, know when to start, what to get into. So I can't wait to start by debunking the myths. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to have you here. First up, you say some people think it's easy and that the money will be better.
That's right, yes. I mean, I think a lot of people, perhaps they don't like their job and they think, oh, I'm going to quit on a Friday and then just crank it up and start my own business by Monday.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's not that easy. There's a bunch of different skills you need. When you have a job, you might have one thing to focus on. When you're an entrepreneur, you've got to do everything. The analogy I usually make is that a successful small business is like a three-legged stool.
Okay.
You need the operations, you need to do the work of the business, but you also need finance and administration, bookkeeping, you know, the boring stuff that you have to do, and also selling and marketing. If you can't sell, if you can't bring in customers or clients, you're going to be sitting at home not earning much money.
Right.
So you basically need those three skills.
And people are waiting for these beautiful tax breaks, but you don't get them until you start making money, and it takes a while to do that. You've got to work really hard.
Exactly. What I tell people is, you know, don't worry about the taxes. If you've got a tax problem, it means you're doing well because you're making money, exactly as you say. Yeah.
And then again, you know, working long hours means you've got to get into something you love doing. Whereas I know a lot of people say, well, this seems to be working. They look for the niche market.
Exactly.
So is that a good thing to do, or is that not a good thing to do?
I wouldn't say so. I think, you know, I term that the grass looks greener on the other side of the fence. It looks, okay, if I did that business there, I'd make a lot of money. But the problem is that you don't really have that much skills. You don't know how to create that business or run that business. So what I recommend people do is start with what they know. Often it's what they're currently doing for a company. You know, start with what you know, because you'll have a much greater chance of success.
Or maybe study with someone who knows, you know, whatever it is that you think you're interested in, and then learn about it that way.
That's
so if
right.
you're doing that, that transitional phase must be scary for people, to just get up and quit their job with all of those risks. Do you recommend a slow transition? Maybe, you know, keeping up part-time hours, or what would you say to that?
Definitely. I strongly recommend don't quit and then start. Start part-time, as you say. I mean, it's something that you can do perhaps weekends and nights, and sure, it's hard work, it takes time, but you really don't have any safety net. If you quit and then start, you really don't have the time to make it successful. And if you aren't successful, then you're stuck. Then what do? You can't just phone up your boss again and say, hey, this didn't work out, I'm coming back.
Can I have my job back? Well, maybe if you have a nice boss, they take you back, but you're risking a lot that way, right?
Exactly.
Is it a good time now, the economy being where it's at, to get into your own business and try and give it a go?
I would say the time has never been better to consider getting into your own small business. I mean, with corporations, the corporate world these days, with mergers, acquisitions, and buyouts. Could I talk about that around here?
Yes, you can. We talk about it all the time.
There is honestly, there's basically no such thing as job security. I mean, my dad worked for Ford for 35 years. He retired on a defined benefit pension plan. That doesn't happen anymore.
It's such a rare thing. No one's waiting for their gold watches because you're changing jobs over 6 or 7 times in your lifetime.
Exactly.
Such a good point. Also, I like this. Some of the common characteristics, to see if maybe you have these, for successful entrepreneurs. You've got to love what you do. You already talked about that. Yes. Don't be afraid of hard work. Makes sense. Be good with people. Have good communication skills. And I like this one. Realize the importance of good health and a supportive family. Balance.
Definitely, yes. I mean, if you're sort of the main money winner or breadwinner in the family, and you quit your job to start a small business, that's a major mistake, because your expenses don't go away. You've still got to pay the rent or the mortgage, and, you know, feed the kids or whatever. So you're almost you know, like dropping a brick on your foot before a marathon race, by starting too soon.
Right. Great advice. For more information, you can pick up The Entrepreneurial Itch in bookstores right now, or go to the website, trahair.com, for more information about David. Thank you for being here.
Thanks, Steve.
Wonderful tips. Continued success to you.
Thank
Over
you.
to Jennifer now at Live Eye, who's there with probably a bunch of young entrepreneurs.